Okay, so let's talk about our second topic for the day. What we're going to do, we've already looked at our vocabulary, we did our matching exercise. What we want to do is look at the standards, so the achievement standards. So you'll know what we're going to be expecting you to do at the end, right? So, let me just get to that. Okay, so our achievement standards. Now these achievement standards are also, there it is, the credits too. These achievement standards are also in the very first front of your book, but let's follow along with these so that you can see exactly what the achievement standard looks like. Sorry, I keep clicking on things I shouldn't. So, Mathematics and Statistics 3.11, you're going to conduct an experiment to investigate a situation using experimental design principles. So you're going to conduct and design your own experiment here. So level 3, obviously, 4 credits. So that means you do have to actually take it seriously, right? Darn. Okay. It's an internal assessment. Okay. Got that on there. So let me just go to the computer and see if I can make this move a little more smoothly. All right, so your achievement criteria. For basic achievement, you need to be able to conduct an experiment and to investigate a situation using experimental design principles. So just doing the experiment, conducting the experiment, using the correct principles will get you it achieved. With merit, you'll do the same thing, but justify your results by using the math. And finally, with excellence, you'll conduct the experiment using the design principles, and then you will use statistical insights to describe what's happened, right? So, not too big of a difference in those, is there? So we're all going to shoot for... I sure hope that recorded that. Okay. No. We're going to go for achievement with excellence. Why not? So, we're also going to have lots of noise. All right, so let's look at some of the achievement standards and talk about what the design looks like. And these are the things that we're going to be working with in class and building up together. So, again, if you don't know what we're going to be doing from these standards, that you will learn them, right? So, we're going to carry out investigations of phenomena using the statistical inquiry cycle. So, we're going to conduct experiments using experimental design principles. We're going to look for explanations of what's happening, right? We're going to use informed contextual knowledge, data analysis, and statistical inference to look at our study. We're going to communicate those findings and evaluate all stages of the cycle. And that's the part that really makes the difference, right? It's not just about doing the experiment. You're also going to have to communicate what's happened, right? And why you think it's happened. So the communication part is really important. We're going to be making inferences from surveys and experiments. What's a survey? So a questionnaire, exactly. So you're just going to answer a question, and then we're going to look at the answers to those questions, and that's going to be the thing that builds our experiment, right? That's where we're going to get our data. And you're going to see one of those in just a few minutes. Okay? Then we're also going to use methods such as randomization to assess the strength of the evidence in the statistic strands of the learning areas. So we're going to be looking at doing an experiment, but then we're going to use randomization to see if that experiment holds true over a larger population, right? What do you think happens when you do a big survey as opposed to just a small survey of a class, for example? Sure.
Doing a bigger survey means that you get a more wide variety of results over a larger population, which therefore makes it more accurate.
Right. We get to assume that it's going to be more accurate the more surveys we get, right? The more times we do something, we assume that we're getting closer and closer to the truth or the whatever. Right, exactly. Okay, excellent. Okay? So we're going to conduct an experiment to investigate a situation using our experimental design principles that involves showing evidence of each component of the investigation process. So you're going to look at each piece of the process and make sure they're all there. And we'll go through these and work together to make sure that you understand what they all are and how they work together. Okay? So look at the third one here. The process of investigating means you're going to pose an investigative question. I want to find out if. I wonder if. Right? So you have an investigative question, something that you're interested in. Probably not. Something that we're going to tell you you're interested in, and then we're going to move from there. But you're going to say, I wonder if I can find something, and then you're going to compare two things, right? If it's true, if it's not true, or if one thing happens and another thing happens, and then we're going to plan the experiment. We have to have units, right? We have to describe what it is that we're comparing, the things we're doing with proper units. We're going to determine the treatment and response variables. What are the things that can happen? What are we going to do? What do we expect to happen? The allocation of treatments to experimental units. In other words, how do I decide who's going to get the placebo and who's going to get the real medicine, right? So how that works. Determining the data collection and recording methods. Right? Did I just go and ask a bunch of random people, or did I sit down and do a proper survey? And then consider other sources of variation. What might be affecting your study and your group? We're going to conduct the experiment, so you're actually going to collect data. Last year, if you were in year 12 statistics and you did this, you know that you just went on to and found the data that they gave you, and you used that. This time, we're going to go a step further, and you'll be designing and gathering your own data. Okay? So you'll be taking it a step deeper. And you're going to record any issues that arise, right? We're going to do a survey. Nobody wants to answer it. All I'll get back is blank paper, right? Well, that could happen to you, couldn't it? Okay. Then we're going to use the right summary statistics and displays. Sorry about that. I will fix that. Now I've got to do it on my iPad too, not just this thing. And then we're going to make the appropriate inferences and communicate in a conclusion, right? I did this survey, now I can conclude this is going to happen. Okay, so do you see how complete it has to be? It's pretty much like writing an essay, right? You have an introduction, you have what you did, and then you have a conclusion. So same kind of thing you're going. Okay? All right. So, and again, these are all in your book, so you can make sure that you're always staying focused. And of course, that's what we'll be working on together. Since we're working on it together, my job will be to help you stay focused as well. All right? Okay. Good. So those are the standards.